So, Dexy, how would you feel if you woke up realizing that you were becoming something that you had sworn to destroy?
I would destroy myself. Duh. Because if I sworn to destroy it, then I have to destroy myself to destroy it. So I destroy everything else, then destroy myself.
You don't think it'd be a little difficult? You might have a change of heart and realize, well, maybe there might be something different.
Probably not. I mean, it depends. It depends, honestly. Because I haven't really sworn to destroy anything yet in my life, so.
Okay, well, what if you fought monsters and discovered that you're turning into a monster? Not to be confused with our episode of Glipnir.
Attack on Titan moment. I would kill the smaller monsters. Because I probably couldn't get the bigger ones.
Well, how would you know unless you try? You might as
Because
well
I'm
give it a shot.
small. I'm a tiny person.
Just bringing that up because today on the episode we are talking about the new anime that it seems that everyone
It came out like last April.
even the manga is pretty big right now, so
Mhm.
they're getting excited about Kaiju number 8.
Hey, we got a tale to tell where two hearts collide. In this anime spell, father and daughter sharing dreams in the world of Benga. Nothing's as it seems. We've had a half in this journey, side by side, laughs and adventures we won't hide. Join the ride in this anime tonight. We found a half shining bright.
All right, welcome to Weeb and a Half, the podcast where a dad and daughter bond over anime, argue about everything from plot twists to favorite characters, and prove that watching anime together is actually the best kind of family time. I'm Blake.
And I'm Dexy.
And in this episode, we take a deep dive into the exhilarating world of Kaiju number 8, one of the most talked about shonen series in recent years. It's kind of made a splash pretty big. And I mean, it's got the gripping storytelling, stunning artwork, and a unique take on the whole kaiju genre.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, though, does it truly bring something fresh to the table, or is it riding the coattails of previous monster-driven hits? But we'll kind of explore this, the series themes, characters, and upcoming anime season, while debating whether Kafka Hibino... Hibino.
Hibino.
Yeah. Is humanity's last hope or its greatest threats? So, there is a unique take on the kaiju genre than normal because usually, if for you, all of you who don't know, kaiju are big monsters.
Big Japanese themed monsters, Godzilla, King Kong, those things.
Yep, Mothra, the ones who show up and destroy cities. Those are kaiju. While those have been a staple in Japanese pop culture, this one introduces a fresh twist by merging traditional monster destruction with military combat and shonen-style heroism. So it's set in a world constantly under siege by monstrous creatures. The series follows Kafka Hibino, a 32-year-old man who once dreamed of joining the defense force, but instead he works as a kaiju cleanup crew, which kind of like after the military comes in and kills the big monsters, they attack. Well, they don't attack. They kind of bring light to the question that has always kind of been answered. Well, the question that has always been asked but never answered. How do they get rid of the bodies of huge monsters lying in the town?
It's disgusting. It's like, you're on guts duty today. Like, oh my god. I would just give up at that point.
Yeah, because they are a team that show up and they cut it up and they use different things for...
They have like a helicopter like lifting up like big chunks of kaiju body.
Yeah, and different parts of it, though, they utilize to make different things. Like
yeah, like with like the kaijus that can transform, they made that girl Kikoru's weapon, right?
Yeah, and her dad, his gauntlet things he had are...
yeah, his gauntlets and her battle axe.
However, he ends up in the hospital and a monster climbs down his throat and he wakes up realizing that he can turn into a monster, and they go by power levels, and he is like 8, so that's where he gets Kaiju number 8. It focuses around him because he really wanted to be in the military.
Yeah, and he had this childhood friend. There's Mina Astido, and she became like captain.
Right.
She like literally left him in the dust and said bye.
Even when he's trying out and everything, he's like the older, or one of the
Yeah.
oldest guys there, and he's only 32, but all the rest are like fresh out of high school and
Yeah,
like
I
young.
remember when they had to do this one thing to see what their like strength was or whatever. Like, that girl, I forget her name, Kikaru. She got like a high one. I forgot what she got. She got like 80 or something, and he got like 0.
Yeah, like he wasn't even strong enough to use the weapon, or it wasn't.
Yeah, it was the bodysuit, and depending on
Yeah.
how strong you are, it makes you stronger. And bro, that thing was useless on him.
But it is kind of cool how they do have like this elite force, because with a lot of the kaiju, they focus on the monsters and then it's like just military or,
Yeah, it's just like
You know.
the military. Like they don't have like names; they're just there and killing them.
yep, or if it's the late 90s, it's, Matthew Broderick. But that's either here nor there. But it's really cool how they do it, because they have these teams and they've gone out and, the weapons they have are really cool. But
It's an
especially
anime. Of course, it's gonna be cool. If it was boring, no one would watch it.
the popularity of it got pretty big pretty quick. Like I found it,
At the Animanga convention,
which we mention a lot, which,
we get everything from there:
yeah.
keychains, plushies,
I wonder if
free
next
stuff.
time they do that, I wonder if they'd let us like host a podcast from there.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I bet they would.
I'm going as Levi. Stop me, dare you?
But yeah, I got one of their books because they give out the free books, and I got Kaiju number 8 and read that and downloaded a bunch of the other books,
Onto
And-
like your phone. And
Yeah.
you read them all.
and I was reading all those, and really I guess I should catch up to all of them, but then Crunchyroll came out with it, and
I feel like the manga was somewhat popular. It wasn't just like one of those like you see it everywhere type popular, but it was popular. And then the anime came out, and you search up popular anime, and like it'll pop up everywhere.
yeah.
You could not escape
Well,
it.
like in Japan though, like it was they were selling like record numbers of even like the digital and physical copies
I
of
mean,
it.
considering that is a kaiju anime, I mean, you know.
Like we've been saying, it's a really good one too, though. I've watched or read some kaiju stuff, and
Mhm.
it's all right, but this one it caught me pretty fast. The history of the kaiju in this universe is like they just like portals open up. They haven't really gotten to the point on explaining like where they come from.
Yeah, they're just like, there.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, power level, whatever, and then they show up, and in the anime they have ones, and sometimes it's just a single really strong one.
Or it's a bunch of little bitty ones that are very tedious.
Yeah, like the one that kept replicating itself.
Oh my god. And then Kafka was the one, even though I don't know if he was like the weakest one there, but he managed to find out how to kill it.
And that's one of the things, yeah, like you mentioned with Kafka, how he discovered that one, because
It was like that little crystal thing inside of them, and if you kill that, it kills the kaiju, but if you don't, they keep replicating them.
yeah, it's kind of like the weak spot.
Mhm.
So, and they all have that, but it seems like even Kafka, though, when he transforms, he has that too, because like in the last one, they almost destroyed it, right?
Yeah, they did almost. I don't know if it was Kiko's dad or if it was what's his name? Hoshina, who almost destroyed it.
Yeah.
Some of the weapons though are so extra. Like whenever there's a big kaiju and Mino sitting there with that really humongous gun with her tiger beside her. It's like, I get it. But the tiger.
Yeah, it is extra. How do you feel like this compares to the current like kaiju shows like Attack on Titan or
One definitely has a lot more comedy and one's a lot brighter. Because, there's like no comedy in Attack on Titan anymore. But I feel like it has a kind of like a different take on it because in Attack on Titan and like other ones, it's like they do their best, like they still do manage to somewhat hide their things, like their abilities, but humanity begins to use them for good. But with Kafka, he was feared and they like literally just tried to destroy him, which happens in some points in in those shows, but like humanity took it in like a different perspective, I feel like, and said, "Oh, this could be useful." And like Aaron even didn't know what happened at all, but like at least with this one, you have an explanation. It gives you like good, like, okay, that's why this happened. And it's like if you ask people who watch Attack on Titan, it's like who've only made it a little bit into the far into the book series, they're like, "So how's that happen?" I don't know.
The one that I compare it to, just because it's a favorite of mine as well, is Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Eva.
Yeah, because they're kaiju, they call them angels. And Eva has a lot deeper meanings and like the plot line, and there's a lot of underlying story
The
where
intro was great. I've only ever heard that.
Kaiju number 8 doesn't take itself near as serious as
I mean, like he was like trying to open like a bottle, and like he was in his like kaiju form, and the bottle like exploded.
yeah.
And it was just funny. It's like I can't open the bottle without it exploding.
Yeah, whereas on Evangelion they are more morose, a lot more
Yeah.
sadder.
It's like sadder and more serious. But that one, he needed to pee and started peeing from his chest. Like
Mhm.
it's just they take it from like a funny perspective, and then rather than making it like, oh, this person's gonna get like executed from eating a kaiju and becoming one, and blah blah blah. Nah, man, I can't even open a bottle.
Even the bad guy, the other kaiju,
Mm-hmm.
is kind of funny just because he's
Yeah.
like he tries to assimilate into being a human, which he's the exact opposite of Kafka, which
Mhm.
is the fact that Kafka is a human that turns into a kaiju,
And he's a
he's a kaiju that turns into a human.
And when other species try to act human-like, I don't think it goes very well in most shows.
Did you watch Pacific Rim with me and Addie?
The one
The
with the
live action
giant
show?
robots.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, because I feel like it's kind of along in that vein of like kaiju as well, because
Mhm.
they're like, oh, they're coming through this portal, and they don't know when, but they have like alarms and stuff that go off when they do.
Man, similar to like how Japan has like the earthquake things. They get so many earthquakes, bro.
Yeah. But I feel like Attack on Titan does a little bit better of like world building than Kaiju number
Well, I
8.
mean, they don't have to do much because there's not much of a world, bro. They live inside of 3 big walls, you know?
Yeah, but I mean kind of like history, other characters that, whereas
Where like every character kind of ties into it.
Kaiju number 8 is just shonen. It's all like, hey, fights,
Yeah, and then like Attack on Titan, like every character ties into it somehow, and all leads back to the Titans and all this crap. That's confusing. But with that one, it's just like, hey, there's kaiju's here, and you have to fight them. And there's not much of an explanation, I feel like.
Yeah. The main character, Kafka, got a question here. I haven't read anything like to confirm this. But
Yes.
there is, I mean, I would ask you if you knew, but I doubt, because it's.
I might, you don't know.
Where do you think they got the name Kafka from?
I feel like you told me this. You had mentioned something similar about it at one point, but I don't remember.
There is a book called Metamorphosis.
Yeah, you told me this, I think.
Yeah, by a guy named Franz Kafka.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it makes more sense.
In the book, the guy turns into a bug.
I mean, it makes most sense.
Mm-hmm. So it feels like it's a little on the nose, but it might feel on the nose for me because as soon as realizing it's an anime about a guy who's turning into a monster and his name's Kafka, I'm like, oh, of course it is. The big reason, too, why he wants to become or join the defense force is his childhood friend.
Yeah, because didn't her family or something get killed by the kaiju or something like that?
Yeah.
And then he's like, you don't have to cry, you can be strong and we'll grow up together and we'll join the military police, or what are they called?
The
Defense Force. I keep calling
yeah.
military police. That's
Yeah.
what they call them in Attack on Titan, but I'm like, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna kill all those mean kaijus. And then she becomes captain and he's like still cleaning up the kaiju bodies.
Yep. Mina is as far as Defense Force characters go, she is the
Coolest.
Yeah, the biggest one everyone talks about.
That gun she had, bro, it was so large and extra.
Yeah, and she has a pet tiger.
Isn't it like an albino tiger too? Like,
Yeah.
It's not just a tiger, it's an albino tiger.
Well, I think it's a Siberian tiger.
Well, it was a white tiger.
Yeah.
And it was like so fancy. It's like not any tiger, a fancy tiger.
But yeah, her whole backstory was her, watched her parents get killed by kaiju.
Mhm.
And so she
Literally
became
Aaron.
the best person on the Defense Force.
That's how most things go. Your parents can't be alive, they have to be dead. Or divorced.
Yep. And then you have Ichikawa,
Mm-hmm.
and he's Kafka's friend. That they
Yeah.
both were on the cleanup crew,
Yeah.
and he was the one who kind of got Kafka to
'Cause,
try
yeah.
to re-enlist.
Because Kafka kind of was like, I give up. I'm not doing this anymore. And that kid came along and he had so much courage. And he's like, I'm going to do this, but why'd you give up? And so he convinced him into to putting it in. And he actually got in. I was like, he actually did that.
The other big character, of course, is Kikoru. And
She's a bit stuck up, but she's
yeah,
cool. She's cool.
her dad runs the Defense Force pretty
Mhm.
much. And but it's not that she just is riding his coattails. She's probably one of the strongest characters on that team to begin with.
I mean, that one girl who I don't know the name of, but she sits in the office. I think she has glasses or whatever. She's friends with the vice captain. I don't remember her name. But she's even like, nobody has ever gotten this strong before. Like, she was completely amazed by Kikuru's powers. I'm like, what do you expect?
And even though she's stuck up and stuff in the beginning, though, she realizes, she finds out about Kafka.
Yeah, and then her dad
she-
tries to kill him, and she's like, stop!
But
don't
even when
hurt
she
him.
found out, she kept it a secret, too.
Yeah.
She didn't just try to...
Because even though her dad is like one of the big people in the series, who's like one of the strongest, she didn't tell him. Even though she's like, I'm going to tell my dad about this, but she didn't do it for that.
And there's Hoshina, the vice captain, who he's got swords. That's his whole thing. He's like a ninja.
He is a ninja. He's got a cat-like personality too. Like when he's talking, and it's like the moments when it's like has very detailed, but the other moments when there's like no shading and there's like little flowers popping up in the background. They give him a cat face, and it's just adorable.
I mean, and he sliced Kafka up pretty good too. I mean, he
Slice him up and put him on a plate.
did you read anything besides the one book that I have, or did you?
I think I read like 2 or 3, and then they came out with the anime. I was like, you know what? I'll just watch it.
Because even in the manga, the fight scenes I like the way they're drawn. It's
Mhm.
really good. But yeah, the fight scenes in the anime are fun as well. Like, yeah, that like you were talking about that big extra gun of Mina's. Like,
Mhm.
it was just like firing. Like she has to like brace herself,
And
and
it
then
would just like poke holes right through that big kaiju from like
Yeah.
miles away.
just blow a hole right through them.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite like scene or like small part in the show?
I mean, when he first turns into the kaiju during the fights and
Mhm.
like just kind of like destroys that one kaiju, and he doesn't it kind of catches him by surprise.
Mhm.
That was just his reaction was great in that.
I liked the part when he was having to save the people, and that girl's mom was stuck under the bookshelf or something, and she couldn't get out, and so he goes in there to save her, and that girl's just like, get away from me, you monster! And he has to get Ichikawa to come in and take the little girl so that way he can get the mom out, because she was just so scared of Kafka that he couldn't even help.
Or like when he would get angry and like start turning into it and like have to do something to try to stop himself when they were trying to hide the fact.
I remember the part when he lifts up the car with his arm, and like he only transformed his arm, but like it was just cool. It's like she walks over here and he like lifts up the car and she starts thinking he's crazy strong. They go in there and he gets a number 0.
Yeah.
It's like 0.
Yeah, and even after he was the kaiju, yeah, him not understanding why he couldn't do anything, and then when
Mhm.
but then it's started showing up, and they're like through the roof on his numbers and everything.
Mhm.
One of the differences I feel with Kafka compared to a lot of animes are he is older,
Most of them
because
are like
I
teenagers.
mean, at
Like
Bleach you have Ichigo, you
how old
have
too?
I mean he's in his 20s probably, but he's still
My Hero
young.
Academia, he starts at the age of like 14. Naruto starts at like 12. So he's like my age. Like they're little.
Yeah, I mean even in the older like Vash isn't that old, neither is Spike. But
He's like gotta be like the oldest main protagonist.
yeah,
Like
and he's like being 32
you have like
and
the random old men in the series, but like they're never playing like a humongous part, you know?
And with him, it's kind of the opposite too, because you have the ones that don't realize they're as strong as they are
Mhm.
until they're like, "Oh, I'm super strong." And with him, he just kept trying so hard and just
He kept squeezing the thing, I kept getting 0. Bro almost pooped his pants from squeezing it so hard.
the humor once again is
It's amazing.
yeah, it's so funny because even with some of the high stakes, serious stuff they have, it's like yeah, you still have a kaiju that he's from his chest.
Mhm.
And he's just like, huh, well, that's it.
It's so random. I don't know why they did that, but it just I remember we were watching that part and Atticus just bursts into laughter. And it's just like so loud and it's hilarious.
How do you feel with the pacing of the show? Like, do you think, I mean, because I feel like once he became the kaiju and then,
It slowed down for a little bit, I feel like, after he became one.
yeah, because I feel like it was kind of rushed at the beginning because it was one of those, oh, he's a kaiju. Oh, he's trying to hide it. And he hid it for like, what, 1 or 2 episodes before everyone found out. And
Well, for us, that was like 1 or 2 weeks, but yeah, I had to wait so long.
yeah, it's just,
I mean, it's no One Piece, but the pacing
yeah, I
could have
hope.
been better.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those too fast, too slow in things, and I feel like maybe what it was, especially in the anime, they were moving too fast,
I
and
feel
then
like,
realized the season was going to be over. So it's like, whoa, we got
yeah.
to slow it down so we can, have stuff for season 2 and 3 and
Yeah.
whatnot. But I'm definitely excited about.
Do you know when it's coming out?
No,
I know the next Spy Family is coming out in like October, but we need to figure out when the next one comes out.
yeah, give me just a second here. Let me look at
Okay.
this, and I bet I can find out, or if at least they might have something here. So, let's see, just filling the number 8, season 2,
Give me
July.
July,
It's coming out July of this year.
May, June, July. Oh my god, bro, that's 3 months away. Ugh. And I think it's like June or July is when the next Sign of Affection comes out too. So I'm like waiting for everything.
Do you feel like the side characters, the supporting cast, do they get enough time, or?
I think Ichikawa.
I mean, he does, but the other people on the team, it almost feels like they're just kind of show up randomly.
Yeah, like there was
And
this one girl I didn't know existed. Like I feel like I know I haven't watched it in like gosh darn, a year now. But I just remember that like the other characters were on the team, like, there's gonna be side characters like you don't know the name of because they're just like, other people that are just, there to
Mhm.
be like so that way it doesn't look like there's only a few characters, Sorry, looks like there's more people. I didn't know half their names by the time that season was over.
Yeah, I mean,
Like who was that
I
girl
know
with the
there's the
short hair? What was her name? I don't know.
yeah. Like I don't there's the almost like the two They're there only for comic relief. It's the blonde guy and like the redheaded guy. And that's the thing. That's their names because
Who were they? I don't know who you're talking about.
There are two other people on the team that were with Kafka, and they did a lot of making fun of him at the beginning, and then
Was he the one?
they're the ones that he ends up saving.
Ew, I still don't know who you're talking about, but I think I kind of get it.
Or I don't know. Yeah, like I said, they didn't put enough effort in because we don't remember
Their names.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really even remember Kikaro's.
Yeah, I know you're like Kikaru, Kakaru.
Well, but her and her dad. Like, don't remember his name at all.
Isn't it written on here?
I don't know if his is or
Yeah, I think it was because it had the same last name.
Oh.
It's on page 2, under other key figures. Isao.
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 Oh, yeah, that's the one. I was like, I knew that
like,
was a name.
I don't know if that's like a sibling because I don't remember, but I think it's the dad.
Yeah, that's who it is. Overall, because this is one of the few shows that we talk about where we've both watched it and we're both big fans of it. So, what's your overall idea of it? Do you enjoy it? I know you're waiting for season 2, but do you think are you wanting it to go for a while? Like,
I am, as long as they fix the weird part pacing. It's like it speeds up and then it slows down and it speeds up again. So if they fix that, then I'll get more excited. I've just never been like a huge I like it when they're fighting, but I also don't like it when they're not fighting. Like I don't like when they're fighting too much, but if they're not fighting at all, then it's not a shonen anymore. That's a slice of life, my guy. It has to be like perfectly in between. Like with Attack on Titan, how there's just scenes where they're just talking in a living room about government.
Yeah, like
Sasha's the only comedic relief. I swear, nobody's funny in that show. It's her and Connie.
But yeah, I really like it. Like, it's different, and it was just, like I said, on a whim, I picked it up and was like, oh, I'm going to keep reading this because there's lots that I will pick up and just read it, and if I finish it, maybe never even care about the second one. But this one, at that time, there was 8 books, and I think there are more because I'm pretty sure the books have been going.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're releasing them like chapter by chapter, at least in the magazines, right?
Yeah, so I need to probably get those and get caught up completely.
We ended off with that weird thing that looks kind of like the alien from Aliens, right? With his xenomorph. I don't know. He had some weird shape, triangular head.
Yeah,
he's the bad guy that we haven't been able to. Like, we almost got him, but he got away.
Yeah, they thought they got him.
Yeah, but he just kind of went. I'm out. It's kind of like this.
Well, he was kind of like regrew himself, didn't he? Because I thought he was like real little or something at some point.
I don't know. I just remember there's this one part when he was because I remember he's human and he also works on the cleanup service or whatever. And there's this part when he's in the bathroom. It's like, hurry up! He's like, I'm coming. And it's like, what was taking you so long? I had to go number 2.
Besides this, has there been any other mangas this week that you've been watching?
More Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
I'm on like book 6. No, I just finished 16, so I'm on book 17.
Yep, that's your big one, and also with
Blue Lock. I haven't gotten any more yet. 18's not out yet.
But yeah, that's your big one at the moment is Attack on Titan, and we spent almost all day today
spray painting.
Spray painting a vertical maneuvering gear.
Yeah, vertical maneuvering equipment.
It's looking pretty cool, so I'm excited about that. I started watching Do Ra Ra Ra. And I'm going to watch that. And
what's that about?
It's about an Irish ghost thing that she's looking for her head, and she doesn't have she doesn't have a head. And she rides a motorcycle, and she has like a helmet with cat ears, and she talks by typing on a phone.
Oh yeah, you told me this.
Yeah. And the storytelling is a lot different than normal anime, and that's kind of what draws you in. But because I've watched that and
Cells at Work.
That But I was gonna say I've watched Dan to Dan,
Which
and
you're
since
never gonna let me watch.
after I finish Do Ra Ra Ra, I'm going to watch Do Ro Ro,
Oh my god.
and then I'm going to do an episode
that
called Dan to Dan Do Ra 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 Do Ro Ro. And I guess I could add that one show, the whole bo 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 as well.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
The name's gonna be gibberish, but
Yeah, like I said,
Okay.
and I don't know how long Do Ro Ro is, but I was just going to watch it to throw in there.
I just know who some of the characters from Dan to Dan are because the girl looks cool. Not gonna watch that for years.
Yeah.
See you in 5 years, Dad. Same with Tokyo Avengers. See you in 5 years.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick ad break, and then we're going to come back with the game.
Hey, fellow anime fans, it's Dexy. If you're loving Weeb and a Half and want to help support the show, you should totally check out our Patreon. Not only will you be helping us keep the podcast going, but you'll also get some awesome perks like bonus episodes, access to the Discord, and even a shout out in an episode. Basically, you'll get more anime talk, more laughs, and maybe even more of Dad's terrible takes. Trust me, it's worth it. So if you want to join our little anime family and get some exclusive goodies, head over to patreon.com/weebandahalf and check it out. Thanks for the support, and as always, stay weeby.
All right, we are back, and we've got the game set up, and what this is, we're going to be pitting Kaiju number 8 against other famous Kaiju, and just kind of see who we feel would win in that.
Mhm.
The first one we have is Mothra.
I don't know much about it, but I know they're a moth, and they were in the Godzilla King Kong movie. There's lots of Godzilla King Kongs, but the newer one.
Yeah, they were also in the older one, Godzilla versus Mothra.
Well, I've only seen one of the older ones because I sat in the living room when Atticus was watching it with like subtitles or something.
But I feel Kaiju number 8 could take it because, I mean, it doesn't have like super crazy powers, and
Yeah, I
it is
feel
just
like
more of a
it's-
maternal thing.
Yeah, it's more of just like I'm an ancient like god type thing, but I don't like attack, as much. Whereas like Godzilla's like shooting like this big lightning beam out of its mouth, and it's like glowing pink. It's just kind of like I'm a sparkly god.
Yeah,
It's so
and even,
sparkly.
I mean, I think I fell asleep on that new movie with the Mothra in it, but I was like, it's kind of like more of a defensive creature to begin with, if I remember correctly.
I like that new Godzilla, the one that we had to wait for the dub to watch. And it was all in
Oh.
Jap. That one was good. I liked that one a lot.
Oh yeah, the Japanese one.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
liked
that
one.
and Shin Godzilla. I don't know if you watched Shin Godzilla.
I don't know if I have.
It's good. It's in the same vein as that, but
Is
it
it like-
actually follows more along the lines of like
Taisho era, Edo time
like
period.
right after. Well, it takes place right after World War II.
Yeah.
And it focuses more on the government and like people dealing with Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
But the second one I have here on the list is King Kong. Who do you think would win on that one?
Every movie they have different abilities, so if I were to put like all those abilities together, like heck nah. Why do I keep thinking of Donkey Kong? That's not the right person. You say King Kong and I picture Donkey Kong, and it's just like him smashing the barrels with bananas in him, beating up Mario in the Mario movie. Honestly, he's just a giant monkey.
Yeah.
He's,
I was
he's
about to
just
say,
a giant monkey.
even the new movies, he's really just a big monkey
He's just
with an
a
axe.
big gorilla, like
Yeah.
Kafka can do that.
Yeah, I'm
He's
pretty
a
sure.
small little guy, but he can do it.
All right, and I'm going to rely on your expertise for this next one. Kaiju Girl Carmelise.
Okay, I've read all the books I can find that are out so far. I don't know if it got discontinued, but I can't find the new ones anywhere. That's when I look for it. She pulls up Kaiju No 8. So, honestly, yeah, she doesn't do much for attacking. It's just like when she transforms. There was this one kaiju at one point I think she transformed to like try to defeat, but she wasn't very strong because it was like one of those shoujo girl animes where she turns into a giant kaiju because she's actually a kaiju that turns into a human. she focused more on the guy she liked in that moment than killing the kaiju. Like, she shot out heart beams. So I think Kafka can do this because she just like shoots heart beams out. So, it's just like, I'm going to defeat you so I can go back home to my boyfriend. Like, girl, get out.
Yeah, there's a movie I think it's called Colossal.
Colossal Titan.
Well, it's just Colossal, but it's about a girl who realizes that she can control a kaiju from
Mhm.
her apart. Well, like, the kaiju mirrors what she does,
Mhm.
and it's kind of funny. But when you were talking about that, that's what it reminded me of. But yeah, speaking of Colossal Titan,
Okay.
kaiju
So,
number 8
I
or
know.
a Titan?
Well, to me, it's not a Titan. It's Rainier. But, because he actually is just a person. Honestly, Kafka, because the kaiju may be big, and if you touch it, it will burn you, like, severely. But Kafka's got, like, that armor stuff, even
Mhm.
though it might melt it. But, it actually has been said it moves super duper slow. It's not fast at all, because, it's humongous. It can't move that fast.
And it still has the same weakness, right?
Yeah, back of the neck.
Yeah.
Just
So
harder to get to, because that's where Rainier is. They're like Titan shifters. They're in the back of the neck. They have to be pulled out. So, well,
Got
some
it.
of them do, but yeah, Kafka could easily beat him.
All right, and the final one, Godzilla.
Eh,
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm gonna start dipping Kafka's grave.
It- it's Grabe.
Grave, Dad. I'll start digging Kafka's
I'm gonna
grave.
start building his Josh Groban.
I don't know what that means. So stop.
But yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Godzilla has been around way too long.
It was based
and
on
has
like
shown
the
that he's
bombs that were
way
dropped on
too
Japan.
difficult to kill. Yeah, and I feel like even if Kafka did, quote unquote, defeat him,
He would just come back
he's
anyhow.
gonna become she, depending on which one.
I believe it's a she. And Bucket's like, it's a guy. Like, nah, it's a girl.
But yeah, no, I'm totally
It.
with you on that one. It's going to be here forever. Whether it's a good franchise, a bad franchise, Godzilla's not going anywhere.
It, like, can't die. It's immortal. It has too much plot armor and just won't die because, oh my god, Aaron's plot armor. That he won't die. I don't know why. He probably will. But the plot armor in some characters is just too strong,
All right. Well, just want to let y'all know that's it for the quiz there.
Mhm.
And you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, I would say Google Podcasts, but I don't even think that's around anymore. And all the others. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. That helps, especially since we don't actually host on Spotify. The more interaction we have on Spotify will raise us up, because since we're not hosted, we can't actually do anything to try to boost our numbers.
Mhm.
So anytime you interact with us on Spotify, that helps us out a ton.
Mhm.
And we also have the Patreon. You can join and get the perks there, and you can find that at patreon.com/weebandahalf.
Mhm.
And also, if you have any questions or comments,
You can reach out to us at weebandahalfpodcast@gmail.com. And that's a wrap on today's episode of Weeb and a Half. Thanks for hanging out with us. And remember, whether you're a hardcore weeb or just here for the fun, we're all family. I'm Dexy.
and I'm Blake.
Stay weeby.